Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the 7th edition Call of Cthulhu tabletop role-playing game rules by Chaosium. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. While we try very hard to stick to languages for all ages, listeners should know that this podcast may include mature themes. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., that may bear resemblance to entities living or dead, is strictly coincidental. My name is Michael Dent, and for tonight's game, I will be your keeper. Thank you for joining us again in another episode of the Old Ways podcast. I'm your keeper, Keeper Michael, and we return to Masks of Nyarlathotep in our, as we've mentioned before, transitional period, our travel period, as you would. So we have a lot to get to tonight. We have a special guest for you tonight. And to get there, we're going to have to get through introductions. So to my right.
This is Tiffany, and I play Meave O'Shea, and I had a great performance.
You did indeed have a great performance. I think it's a nice stretch for you to get back to kind of the old Meave, as it were. To her right.
This is Morgan. I play Lillian Lane, and I have this feeling somebody's going to be arrested at some point on this trip.
You know, I wouldn't put it past anyone on this trip to be arrested, possibly even you. I mean, everything is in your name in that regard.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, things happen.
At the end of the table.
This is Jake. I'll be playing Jack Doyle. And what's one more warrant in one more country?
Exactly. I mean, the best part of the using the Orient Express is, as long as they don't catch you by the southern French border, you're good to go.
Golden.
Right.
As we all know, no one catches Jack in France.
Right.
So, I mean...
not even the Germans. And so to Jack's right.
This is James. I'll be playing Dr. Sigmund Tattenbach. And, I've no plans. I just go with the flow, quite literally.
Quite literally. And our special guest for the evening.
I am Allie, and you'll find out who I am.
Ooh,
Dun,
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 dun, dun.
A mysterious character to be named later.
You guys got to be careful with your gasps at this altitude.
It's very true. So we raised the curtain tonight on the Orient Express, which is moving through the French countryside, headed down towards Paris. And so we are going to open with you, Doctor. Doctor, you've had a session with your patient. And for the most part, things are progressing, but he is definitely showing some difficulties. And so you've kind of come up for air. You have given him something to relax himself.
My Mickey Finn.
Well, but the professional kind.
Oh, good.
Right? So it's like your
Michael Finn. Then.
Yes. It's it's professional.
It's professional.
I'm professional.
Clearly, it's okay for you. A doctor's giving it to you.
Right. You've had an opportunity to kind of come up for air in this regard, and you're now just plain getting something to eat and drink in the saloon cart to kind of unswell your head a little bit,
kick out some of the busyness that is now up there. And
there's an awful lot of emotionally charged portions, and as analytical as you're trying to stay, it's clear that he has a lot going on.
Absolutely. And I can't carry that around with me all the time, so definitely some food, some drink, and hanging out with everyone else for a little while that has nothing to do with putting someone back together mentally.
You, while you're in the car, just getting some soup and whatnot, you look across that saloon car and you see that there are a pair of dogs in here.
What kind of dogs?
Well, you're not really sure, actually. You don't think you've ever come across this breed before. And they're relatively tall, very long, thin hair, long noses.
Okay. But they're otherwise normal dogs, like they have skin and everything.
Totally normal dogs.
I'm just double checking. This is Call of Cthulhu. I like to... I just like to double check. Once I have my cup of soup, I have them working on my ramen. I know.
I don't think they're serving you ramen on the Orient Express.
Oh, come on. It'd be really good ramen.
No,
I go over to the dogs. I look at the owner first, of course, as one does.
You see a very striking woman who's dressed in a thick coat. It's not very ostentatious. There's no luxuriousness to it. She doesn't seem like she's royalty or anything. There's a strange cut to it. It almost makes like her shoulders come far wider than you would expect cut on a woman's coat.
Okay.
And she has the dogs not at a grip by any means, but she has a fair hold on both. There's two of them.
Okay.
She has a fair grip on both their collars.
I walk over and Guten Tag. Do you mind if I pet your dogs here?
She gestures to the dogs as if it's okay.
Crouch down and give them each a good scritch and fish out a little bit of something out of my soup bowl. And
They seem to take to it pretty well. The handler looks at you and kind of gives you a bit of a smirk, and then she immediately defers her vision to another woman who is coming into the car. And this woman is definitely striking. She has features that almost feel and look tailored. Like the angle of her jawline is just so. Her hair and eyebrows are just so, as if they're painted on. But they don't appear to be painted, but it feels like she woke up and a Michelangelo decided to create her visage today. She also looks a bit mysterious.
terribly mysterious. I stand up when she gets closer and, give the dog's a last little pat. Mm-hmm. When she gets up close, I give a little courtesy bow to her when she approaches, as one would.
She acknowledges you and gives you almost a wry smile.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag. Tell me, heading back to Germany?
No, unfortunately, Fräulein, I am not heading to Germany. We are going much further southward. Egypt, actually, as it turns out.
Aye.
I know they probably don't, but I offer her, obviously the seat and the manners, in the etiquette way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Try not to be as clumsy as possible.
Yeah, it's tough with the cane. You do your best to kind of steady yourself as you go, but she seems to just simply turn with ease around you and get to the seat. She seems very lithe.
Okay. Can I get you anything? A drink, perhaps?
No, that is all right. I am perfectly fine here watching the scene.
It is quite beautiful. I have not been to this part of the world before, but I must say they are keeping it quite well.
I have been through France many times now.
This is my first time.
Well, do enjoy yourself.
And so far, so good. And it's definitely a far sight better from where we were coming from.
I'll leave you there for the moment, Doctor. A member of staff, Miss O'Shea, comes to you and they pass you a note.
Okay.
And then they say, "Is there anything I can do for you?" This is a pretty common thing on the train. After a member of staff arrives, they do whatever service, whether it's dropping off a drink, they always check back up with you. That's something that really all of you have noticed so far on the Orient Express, is the service here is it's unbelievable. Now, given what you've paid to be on the train, it
better be.
It better right.
This is average service.
Right. But it's really more than that, though. It is the people that work the train. It doesn't matter whether it is a simple wait staff member or if it's someone who looks after the way any of the luggage and stuff is carried. Everything is done with just a different level of service, and it's immediately noticeable from your first moments on the Orient Express.
I will tell them thank you, and if I could get some tea.
Of course, what kind?
I usually drink green tea.
The member of staff heads back up. Jack, after having gotten on this train in the way that you did, what are you filling your time with here?
I'm probably reading some of the papers we brought along. After that, I might just wander the train, keep an eye out.
Wandering the train it's like people watching.
Right.
Because there's a lot of folks that are also wandering the train. And there are many different cars here. Most of them are sleeper cars, or there is the saloon car. There's also a couple of other cars here that are meant for more socializing, that sort of thing. You can see there's a car here that has a piano in it.
Okay.
And it's not just a chintzy upright, it's a piano. This is probably the most luxurious form of transportation you've ever been on.
Even better than the ocean liner?
Yeah, actually. Because what would grip you a little bit is the level of comfort and luxury they get in the space that they have. That's the thing that continues to be a little bit awe-inspiring, as really for everybody, as you're moving down the line here towards Paris. Is yes, it's late at night, or later at night, and it's as if the train does not miss a beat. The staff here are always prepared. They have the drinks that you're interested in. There are, many things to avail yourself of while you're on the train. At the same time, there are probably half the people who are on the first class portion of it who are sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's almost like a miniature city in that way. All while it continues to move towards its next destination.
I like it.
You do see the doctor. He seems to be finishing up. He's eating, and he's also noticed that there are two relatively larger dogs that he seems to be paying some attention to.
Okay. I nod in the direction and then continue on.
You probably noticed the woman in the seat adjacent to him because she's unmissable. There is something about her that is totally like movie star quality.
Put together.
Yeah. But not just that, but there's an air of danger to her. She looks like she'd be perfectly comfortable putting bullets in somebody.
Yeah, all that combined, that's trouble right there. I'm going to stay as far away from that as possible.
You stay away from trouble? I don't believe that.
I could see major trouble way down the line here.
Fair enough. Miss Lane, are you catching up on your sleep? Or are you still a bit gobsmacked at what Mr. Doyle did to get you on the train?
Well, there is that.
Yes.
It's not that big a deal. I do it all the time.
A striptease is just a striptease. You guys are so uptight.
It's France.
Right? They do this all the time. See, it's how you get a baguette and a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I'll remember that when we make it to Paris. Now that she's on the train where, she's with, people she normally would collude with, I am going to change into something more appropriate for the train. Yeah, I'm changing out of pants.
Holy shit, you're going to change out of pants.
So she's going to put on one of her several dresses that she brought with on the trip. Like a midnight blue, dress that's for traveling. Yep. I'm working it.
You're probably going to notice, too, that you're likely to get close to matching the outside of the Orient Express, which is also
is it?
A deep blue. Yep.
I'm actually going to do my hair and everything to make, so I don't look quite so third class. I'll put my hair up in a still a loose bun, but it'll be up nicer.
Are you going to wear a hat?
No, I'm not going to wear a hat. That's too much. We're going to let it loose, pretend I'm in a party.
You get done up. It feels good to get, because, you had your bit of your transitional period, and you're finally kind of reapplying makeup and getting prepared again, and it feels like putting on a new layer of skin.
I feel like I'm able to hide part of myself, so yeah, I'm hiding behind what I've always, what I've known, what people see me as.
Sure.
It's my own personal mask.
Interesting. Okay, so you're getting ready. So you've had a chance to read your note.
Mm-hmm.
What's Miss O'Shea's plan?
Once I get my tea?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how long is it after I performed? Like, am I still in my performance clothes?
Yeah, we'll say you are.
Okay.
I mean, you got dressed up for the performance. So.
Yeah. Well, then I'll just take my tea, and I still have the dagger in the holster I had made on my thigh. So I will go, to the third train car.
Okay. You head down to the third train car. This is in the opposite direction of the saloon car. So you head down into through multiple first class lodgings till you get to the third car, and then head down.
Yeah, to the third
compartment.
Does the atmosphere change in the third car, or?
As far as the third car is concerned, when you step into the hallway here, the first thing that you spot at the end of the car is what you would spot at the end of any car on the Orient Express, which is a member of staff literally in a chair, sitting and waiting for someone to need something in that car. So if somebody comes out of their compartment and they need something, or they want to ring their bell, or they turn their light on, or whatever the case may be, that member of staff is there to assist them.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you enter the car, the member of staff all the way at the end acknowledges you, just to meet eye contact and let you know that he has seen you, and should you need anything, he's there. About 3 spots down, there's a relatively tall man standing outside of he's standing in the hallway. He's standing in the hallway with his back to the compartment walls, and he's looking out the windows of the train as it passes by. He obviously sees that you've entered the car, but he doesn't stare you down or anything like that.
Well, I'll keep walking to, I think that's the one I need to go to.
Okay. You get to the third compartment. It's just beyond him a little bit. When you approach the door to the compartment, he reaches out and knocks on the compartment door. Ellie, you hear a knock on your compartment door.
Come on in.
It's a feminine voice.
I'll open the door and...
You don't even get a chance to.
Oh, okay.
The man opens the door for you.
I'll go in and sit down with my tea.
It's a first-class compartment, much like the one you have.
Mm-hmm.
And there is on the left-hand side where there's a chair here, there's a relatively well-dressed gentleman, very similarly to the man that's outside, who stands up. And he steps, as you come in, steps around you and exits the door. And inside, there is a woman in, I would assume you'd be in evening wear still?
Yes, indeed.
So there is a woman in the compartment car here with you, and she is dressed in a lovely green evening dress. In fact, you're fairly certain that she might have been in the traveling car earlier tonight. And the man that left looked a lot like one of the men that was there in her presence.
Mm-hmm.
You find her and a nice compartment car.
I will find a place to sit down.
It's basically either the chair the man just got up from, or it's sitting on the couch, which is basically a sitting area when it's not a bed.
Oh, I'll sit in the chair.
Okay.
And sip my tea.
Do you want some cake with that?
No, thank you.
All right. I'll motion to one of my people and ask him if he would get me some tea and cake also.
Yeah, your two folks hopped outside, but a simple call to them is easy enough. They reply from outside right away.
Thank you for joining me.
Well, I was curious about how you would know I'm here.
We can all feel our own.
Oh?
You're among the favored.
Okay. So what is this message you have?
Well, I am Alexandra Swift.
I'm assuming you had a relative in Chicago?
I did indeed. I believe you encountered him.
We may have had some words.
Yes, well, you certainly did the family a convenience.
Well, that's good to know.
But you also were able to speak to a god,
I have a good singing voice.
but you don't know the words.
Not all of them.
No. Your knowledge is insufficient, and I can teach you.
Okay. And what does that entail?
It would entail a few days' study with me, alone, as we are now, and I can teach you the more intricate and sophisticated parts of Aklo.
Oh. Yeah, I started finding more stuff on that. But, that would, help a lot. Getting a lot of languages in. Okay.
I've been informed that you are a fairly quick study.
Yes, yeah, I seem to be able to pick up things rather quick. It's helpful because I like to read a lot, and I'm always moving on to something new.
We would be able to teach you in just a few days.
That would be amazing. And you want nothing in return?
I don't currently have a need for anything. You are blessed. It is by will of the Great Serpent that you learn.
Do you have any markings from him?
That's a good question. Keeper, do I have any markings?
You have markings, so you have some markings on your upper abdomen. You have markings on your back. You have an inability to wear any midriff shirts. Luckily, midriff isn't really part of the time.
Right?
I suppose it depends on what kind of markings you mean.
Well, that were given to you for speaking with him.
Of course. And I take out just like a little penknife from like a bag I'm carrying and cut just enough of the dress that I have to show that my skin is a little bit rougher, almost scale-like along my ribs for Maeve to see. And I know that that's repairable.
Okay. Figured they were from him. Well, I don't think that I will be missed. So, where are you staying after the train?
In that same bag that I have, I will pull out a note of prearranged lodgings and slide it across the table to Maeve. This is where I'm staying, and perhaps in the evenings after dinner around, say, 8:30.
Okay. I'll see if I can make that happen. I'll do my best, because the people I'm with will not understand. But they will always benefit from it.
Well, if I see that you have company, we will have to rearrange for another day because, unfortunately, you are the only person that is to receive this training.
Good to know. Well, I appreciate that. And hopefully I can then meet up with you tomorrow night.
I'll be in Paris for a few days before getting back on the train.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Of course.
I suppose the next few hours pass relatively uneventfully. It is some of the nicest few hours that you get to spend. You've had some drinks, you've had some food now. You kind of relax your way into Paris. And around 10:30ish or so, the porters begin to call for an acknowledgement that the train is going to be arriving in Paris and for people to have their articles ready to go for those who are leaving. And the train arrives.
I bid the lady with the dogs and her friend there a fond adieu and tell them, remind them if they will be on the train later that I'm always at their service. And I will go pack the few things and maybe poke Simone / Hans in the face a little bit. Wake up.
Make me a psychology roll.
Yeah. That is a 41 under significantly more than 41. So that is a 41 under 79.
This woman that the handler there with the dogs, there's something about the two of them, these two women. There's an air that they give off. It's not the same sort of air that, say, like Erica Carlisle and Mr. Gray gave. It's not the same sort of air that, say, Miss Lane and any of her potential secretaries would have.
Does this feel more like an intimate familiarity?
There is a familiarity between the two of them that is different. It's in the body language. It's not in the words.
How they react to one another? Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's the care in the eyes and like what they look at and how they walk the dogs.
Right. Well, on the upside, at no point have I decided to attempt to pick up either of them. I just find them fascinating. The doc's not really like that. So yeah, again, he bids them adieu with a pleasant smile and tells them both, of course, that, like he said, he is at their service should they need it. And bows and goes and gets his stuff. And again, pokes Hans in the face with a stick.
The five of you get off at Paris. The question I have is, what type of lodgings are you looking for?
I'm assuming I've been to Paris before.
You have been to Paris before.
So,
I could suggest several hotels for Morgan, so that way Lillian knows where she might want to go. You get a pretty quick rundown of some of the elegant places, just in the which is also in the Traveler's Companion, which you guys have. So you guys have some information. The Bristol Hotel is pretty popular, but it's also a little pricey.
Okay.
There's also the Balmoral Hotel, which is a hotel you've stayed at before. So this would probably be back during the more equestrian days of you coming to Paris.
While we're in the station, well, we have not discussed this yet, but I do think perhaps while we are quite used to be living, the life that is high, perhaps we were wanting to be going in the middle of the road now. Mm-hmm.
So we'll probably want to pick one where it's not like a middle class type hotel. I suggest the Balmoral, where I've stayed previously.
Mm-hmm.
And you are still alive, so it's high ratings.
Wunderbar. Yeah, yes. It's been a couple of years, or a few years since I've been over here. So
the same could be said for Jack. He kind of nudges Jack in the ribs a little.
However, I would suggest we don't register the room under my name.
Yeah, or Maeve.
I am unknown. Deuce Tottenbach. It is a very well-known name.
Are they going to be able to spell it?
Really? Is that how we're going to play this now?
Yeah.
Talk about unpronounceable things, huh? Half of your vocabulary at this point is completely unpronounceable and is comprised mostly of S's. He picks up his luggage and starts walking away.
Miss Lane would know that the hotel is relatively close to the Arc de Triomphe. And it also is relatively close distance-wise to the Eiffel Tower. You're not too far from the Eiffel Tower. You might even be able to catch sight of it when you're getting your baguette and coffee in the morning.
It's like 20 years old at this point, isn't it?
I'm not marrying any of you, so no proposals at the Eiffel Tower.
That would be weird.
That would be weird.
Random proposals?
Well, we're here. I mean,
people do that.
Paris.
Right.
So you'll get a cab that will take you over in two groups to the hotel. The Balmoral is more than happy to take guests coming from the Orient Express, which is what the staff at the Orient Express tell you to tell them. So the nice part about that service is the hotel sees the cabs that come from the train station with their Orient Express people and you kind of get put into a different line of guests arriving at the hotel just because of it.
Neat.
Check-in is fairly simple. My question that I need answered is who is registering the room? Is it you're going to put them under the doctor's name?
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. I just want to make sure I know who to run the bill to when you burn the hotel down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then definitely the doctor.
Why do you think I don't ever put it under my name?
Smart man.
Because Jack's the one burning the hotel.
That's right.
So the rest of the evening is relatively calm. You get settled into a nice and a pleasant hotel room. It doesn't smell. The beds are okay. The service is, so far as you've seen, is decent. It's a little bit for you to adjust to, Miss Lane, if only because you're used to having nice things, but it's definitely a step up from Walton on the Naze, although it's not probably the same level the Waldorf was in London. So you're just going to have to slum it, I guess. Are any of you doing anything specific before heading to sleep that evening?
Yes. After the trying day that the doc has had with his session and everything, the doc is actually going to see if Jack wants to go out for a drink. Especially because they have absinthe bars here, and I've never had it before, and I would like to try it.
Late night in Paris, after getting checked in and heading back out, it'd be probably near midnight, and the Parisian nightlife is available to you.
Oh, fantastic.
Whether it be bars, or whether it be something like a cabaret, or whether it be Paris nightlife at this time in the 20s is the world is your oyster. You're in a major city, a major cultural center in the world. Anything gettable potentially is gettable. So,
Wunderbar. Well, definitely. I assume we track down a nice little hole in the wall bar that looks like it's been there for the last 200 plus years. That ideally serves the Green Fairy, and I mean that's just for me because I've never had it.
Sure.
And after a drink or two and a good tip, I begin to ply our waitress for any rumors that she's heard about weird things going on the streets of Paris.
Ooh. Okay.
Waitstaff here more than anyone.
So your waitress, a rather smiley sort of young French girl, who continues to fill your cup. She tells you that have you not heard of the Catacombs Killer?
Act completely surprised, which, I mean, I've heard a little of it. I've heard the word thrown around, but you've heard something. Please tell me.
Yes. Oh.
I pull the chair out just a little bit.
No. I cannot sit down. She kind of glances back over towards the bar. But I will say this.
Before she begins, I hand Jack, like, a little bit of cash. Why don't you go get us a couple of more drinks? So that the bartender doesn't see her just sticking to one table and talking.
There was a news story that came out. It must have been a few days ago. I saw it in one of the papers. They say that there was a creature loping around in the streets of Paris, and people said it was a dog, and then some people said it was an animal from the zoo. But I know it wasn't. Because I heard my friend tell a story. She was up in her room, and she saw it on all fours.
Oh.
A man. On all fours.
On all fours, that is... he perhaps has some sort of mental problem, or unless it is some sort of monster. I don't know.
She said she saw him in the early morning hours stop in an alleyway, and she saw him eat something, and it looked like a human hand.
That is... Oh my god. I apologize for having to make you repeat that, my dear. And I slide her, like, another franc.
She takes it. She genuinely looks a little terrified just telling you the story.
Would you like to know something, Liebchen? A little secret? You see that man at the bar right there?
Yes.
He is a world-renowned catcher of men and criminals. And believe it or not, that is why we are here.
You should see my family then.
Oh, we would very much like to do that. Or where would she be located at?
I will give you her address.
Wunderbar, thank you.
She will not be available until perhaps the late morning.
I understand.
She writes down something on probably on a piece of paper that she has in her waistbands or pockets.
Receipt or something.
Yeah, well, it's more like it's a scrap of newspaper that she probably keeps on her. Or maybe it was an old grocery list or something. But she hands it to you.
Wunderbar. Dankeschön, Fräulein. You have been most helpful.
Thank you. And if you do go and see Marie, don't tell her I told you.
Mum is the word.
She skips away.
Okay.
So, you guys have some absinthe. You have some other drinks. The night gets a little wobbly
Yeah, it's time to go home.
in the best sorts of ways. It's probably clear to 1 or maybe 1:30 before the two of you get back to the Balmoral. You're fairly certain you can still make it like into the stairway. It's really the mix of alcohols. It's for you, Doctor. It's the absinthe that you start with first.
Yeah.
It kind of clouds your mind a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And then at some point you started drinking whiskey. You don't remember when.
Wow, I must have been out of it, yeah. Wow.
You started drinking whatever Jack was drinking.
Oh, okay. So it probably was whiskey or
Yes,
bourbon,
yeah.
But the two of you loosen up a little bit, and it can't come soon enough. I mean, it is Paris, and you're here, so you might as well.
Why not? This is a bit of a change, Jack, for you being able to see Paris in a good way. Although I think I'm going to be sick, so we should go back to the hotel.
Yeah, yeah.
The next morning, Miss O'Shea, you're probably up first. You're up with the Paris sun, at least a little bit. You have a nice room that gives you two smaller doors that open onto a little terrace that you can sit and have your morning breakfast on, and you get to watch kind of Paris wake up. And it's not that you want to watch Paris wake up. It's that you want the first ray of sun to hit you.
I want to be warm.
You're desperate. You realize, like, in your bones all of a sudden that you are desperately seeking heat. Like, the room is too cold. What you need is the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And so as it kind of raises into the sky.
Is it like a marble terrace?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. Because then I'll just go out barefoot too.
So you have to wait a little while because it's now late February. After a little while, it starts to warm, and you start to warm. Maybe it's the morning tea or coffee that helps get you along. You drink tea, we know that.
Mm-hmm.
But the sun definitely helps. And you can tell as you're going through your morning reading that you're continuing to adjust to make sure that there isn't a shadow falling or blocking you and that sort of thing. And then you get to thinking probably about what you're going to do with today.
I think I know what I'm going to do with today.
Why don't you tell us?
I'm going to go find a tailor.
All right.
I'm going to take my now blank robe.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like if they have like an iridescent like silk or something to have scales embroidered down the back of it and down the front. Not like fully, but like a row.
Okay. A single row or 2 rows or like...
Yeah, one big row down the front.
Okay.
And then like maybe like do it like from the shoulders tapering down in the back.
Yeah, the tailors of Paris, provided that you are able to pay their fees, which you likely are happy to help you improve. They use that word a lot, improve the fabrics that you've brought them. So after some measurements in Paris by an older gentleman near the theater district, you get things in the appropriate shape.
I would also like a larger pocket on the side, like to either hold like jars or...
I'm sorry, it's women's clothing in the 1920s, so there will be no pockets. Yeah, women do not get pockets until 1974.
If I am paying good money, I'm getting another pocket on the inside.
Actually, the best part about this being our universe is I can do the fuck I want, and so you can have as many pockets as you like. You go through and detail with this tailor your adjustments to the fabric. And they tell you it will probably take several days. And then they want to know if you have a deadline beyond that, like when it has to be done.
As far as I know, we're going to be here for a couple days. But that's about it.
Okay. Yeah, the older gentleman says that he'll He and his staff will begin working on it as soon as they can. They do a lot of items for the theater district here, and so turnaround times usually have to be pretty fast.
Okay.
But just from the array of clothing that he has here on display, you can tell he does pretty quality work.
Sweet. Because I will pay all my monies if I have to.
Okay, so what else are you doing with your day in Paris?
Well, no, I mean, I'll do some shopping since some of the Art Nouveau stuff is coming out. Snakes are pretty popular, so I guess I'll see, like, what other hair things or bracelets or anything I, see.
You go shopping. You have your thing. The shopping in Paris is likely second to none, especially on the continent, on Europe. There are some other places that might play that they have better shopping or good shopping, but they don't meet the markets of Paris. This is the cultural center of the world right now. And you get your fill, whatever it is that you're looking for.
Cool.
Okay. Miss Lane, why don't you give me an idea of how you're spending your first day in Paris?
Maeve's already headed out, right?
Yeah, by the time you are up and awake, she's gone.
Okay. I am going to get up. What time did Maeve head out?
You probably heard something from her by 9, I would imagine.
Okay.
You got in pretty late, though, overall.
Yeah, I get up, I get dressed, I put on another dress. No. And this one's a deeper purple, like silk, a nicer dress for the day.
Purple's a very fashionable choice for Paris.
Yes, and this time I do put a hat on, a matching hat. I didn't bring very many hats with me because I had to make room for pants, but...
Get that fascinator out.
Yep.
Over one eye.
Have my hair tightly put in a bun. So, since I know Maeve is gone, and I don't hear probably the gentlemen up and around, I probably did hear them come in last night, though, because they were probably not quiet.
Oh.
No.
I grab the necklace, the Ankh necklace, out of my bag where I had placed it after I had changed on the train.
Yes.
And I go into... Are the rooms unlocked, or is there connecting, or is there...
I don't think these rooms won't connect, but as far as rooms being locked...
At that time, I didn't know if they... I don't think they...
I'm sure that there are locks, but I don't know that a whole lot of people would lock their hotel rooms.
Okay.
At least most people wouldn't.
I mean, in a hotel like this, I wouldn't... At this time period, I wouldn't expect them to be locked, so...
Yeah, but we have scary stuff.
Yeah, ours are always locked.
Right? We have scary stuff.
So did you lock yours leaving?
Oh, am I separate? We're not sharing again?
Are we sharing?
That's up to you, ladies.
Oh, I think maybe we're... Well, then we're sharing.
Cost-wise, you might share
Yeah,
just
we'll
because
probably share.
there's so much money to go around for the doctor.
Okay, so is our suite like a 2-bedroom suite then, or is it... Okay. I go into Maeve's room, and I open her trunk, and I place the Ankh right on top of the... in the trunk, on top of the books.
It's real subtle.
I just, close it and leave.
Okay, make me a hard power roll.
But she's gone, right?
Yeah, but you probably...
That ain't what the bow rolls for.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Why don't you make that hard power roll first?
Fine. I got a 77 out of 50.
Awesome.
So that is not a hard power roll.
It is not. You set the Ankh down, unfurl the chain, and set it down on top of her stuff. And as you lift your hand away and prepare to close the trunk back up, you see, for just the briefest of moments, you see the iris of the eye focus on you.
And you roll sanity.
Yep.
Time to go insane. I get a 66 out of 49.
Okay, so that's a fail.
Yep.
Miss Lane, I want you to lose 6 points of sanity. And I want you to make me an intelligence roll.
Am I rolling? You said intelligence?
Now you're rolling intelligence.
Do you think they came into the room and saw her do something? That she ate them?
I have a 22 out of 75.
Yeah, so the intelligence roll when you fail a sanity check is the one you want to fail. You don't want to pass that roll.
Why don't you push that?
She can't. You are going to have a bout of madness.
Oh, yeah.
The bout of madness is a little different this time because there are no other investigators around. So the pulp hero bouts of madness, when there are other investigators around, they last a D10 rounds. You have a little jaunt off into the ether for a moment, and then you come back. Maybe not ether like the doctor, but...
Right.
A bout of madness when there aren't other investigators around is much different. Okay, I'll get back to you a little bit.
That's not good.
Gentlemen, you wake up probably, say, 10 o'clock or so. And you wake to the sound of knocking on your door. Specifically you, Doctor, because the rooms are in your name.
A fun moment. I get up.
Excuse me, sir?
I come over to the door, all disheveled, holding cane. Yes.
There is a young woman downstairs in the lobby. She's in great distress. She was a member of your party?
Okay.
Yes. Come quick.
I assume it's Meave, so I...
You do.
Everybody would.
Yeah.
You head downstairs, and the sight you see there is pretty shocking. You see on top of the hotel table, like the bar table itself where drinks would normally be served, there is one Lillian Lane, and she is standing on top of the bar. She has discarded the dress that she's worn. She is covered in like a multicolored fluid. You're not even sure what it is. She's also cut in several places. She's wielding a very sharp blade, and she is fending off staff members who are trying to stop her. And she keeps saying, like at the top of her lungs, the Black Pharaoh will free all of you in time. And the intent that's in her eyes is murderous.
I look at the guy that led me down here. Go get the other gentleman that we came in with. It's Jack, the farthest room down.
Right away.
Be quick. And I approach Lillian very slowly with hands up, and I motion the other guys to, they're making it worse. Back up.
They have brooms. That's what they're trying to fend her off with. They back off a little bit.
I guess try to cut right through the noise. Lillian. I'm trying to get eye contact with her.
It's tough.
Yeah.
She's not very cognizant, right? At least not in her own mind. Lillian, what's your brawl skill?
I'm glad we trained her.
Right. Thanks. That was fantastic. Thank you, Jack.
I have a 42.
Awesome. She leaps down from the bar,
Okay.
and she moves in close and gets under the guard of one of these guys with the broom, and she slashes at the broom.
Okay.
And with this, an understandable strength, she cuts the broom in half. It snaps. And you can hear the whistle of the knife as it goes through. And the staff member screams and drops it and just backs off.
Yeah, I use my cane to push him and the guys next to him back. And then I lock eyes with them for a second so that they understand what I want them to do.
Yeah, they flee.
Okay.
Jack, there's a pounding on your door. It matches the pounding in your head.
I'm coming. Open the door.
So there's the doctor. He asked me to retrieve you. There's a young woman on the bar downstairs. She's screaming and she's cut and she's being very violent with staff members. He asked me to get you.
Okay, Meave, let's go.
Damn it!
You head downstairs in a nightshirt and some pants, and you come to this scene where Miss Lane, in her undergarments, looks like she's been through a war. It looks like she's also intending on killing somebody if she gets the chance.
Is she still saying the thing she was saying before?
No, she only says it a couple of times.
Okay.
What was it that she said again?
She said that the Black Pharaoh would free you all.
Snap in front of her a few times and try to draw her attention to my eyes.
You get the attention.
I parry.
She doesn't hit you,
No.
but she swings at you.
I'm going to try to sneak up behind her while she's focused on him.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me a stealth roll. If you can get behind her.
That's 19 under 82, so that's yeah.
Okay. You get behind her, behind the bar, and then kind of creep around the side of the bar to be able to look at what she's doing. And she's definitely locked on to the doctor.
I very gently set my bag on the bar, near to where Jack can grab it if he needs to, as a weapon or with sedatives inside. He knows where I keep everything generally. And I keep Lillian's attention. Every time she starts to drift, I'll snap my fingers and keep her focused on me.
Sure.
I'm going to get up behind her and I'm going to grab her in a bear hug.
Okay.
Pin her arms down to her side.
That's a brawl roll. And
Yeah.
she's going to fight back.
Of course she is. That is 33 under 75.
So what's your brawl?
It is 42.
Okay. So I have a hard and you have a hard, but you beat me by points. You go to wrap her up in a bear hug. Are you going to go under the arms and behind the neck and try to lift her off her feet to get leverage on her? Or are you just going to try to...
Well, she is much smaller, so it'd probably be easier to do it that way.
Okay.
Just pick her up and...
Yeah. You pick her up. She nearly squirms out of your hold. And she's, much as you saw on the beaches of England, she is way faster than most people expect. And she nearly gets loose. But you have her wrapped up. And that, Doctor, is when you hear something very specific. Poof. You hear the flash bulb of a camera.
Oh, God.
Son of a bitch.
Daddy's gonna be mad.
I spin around.
You spin around
Yeah.
and you see a young man dressed in a relatively simple shirt and pants, and he has a camera and he has taken a picture of this scene at the bar at the Balmoral.
Fantastic. Are there any drinks still left on the bar?
No, it was early morning hours, so
Okay.
nobody was drinking.
Okay.
What are you doing, Doctor?
Does he have her pinned enough that I can take?
You think so, yeah.
Okay, then I take.
Okay, you get it out of her hand.
Good. And I look at him and gesture just backwards at the camera. I've got her. I will take care of her at this. She doesn't have a weapon, so I've got her.
No, you don't.
You're not so sure about that.
You need to sedate her.
Just enough of the old morphine to make her really sleepy. She's going to go sleep for a while.
Okay.
And then I will get her up the stairs.
Excellent idea.
Yes.
So you inject her, and likely professing to the folks around you that you're her doctor, and she's going to be okay, and lots of reassurances. Lillian, you come to in a place you never thought you'd be, and that's in the arms of Jack Doyle. When you look down, you do not know what is going on. None of this makes sense. You're very drowsy all of a sudden, and you can feel your body being moved up a set of stairs, and you get this almost third-person perspective on everything. You see the doctor, you see him fitting something back into his doctor bag. You can feel Jack's arms wrapped around you, and kind of the two of them kind of ushering you back up the stairs.
He's ushering them.
I'm ushering her, and then I get.
She's waking up during the trade-off between the two of you.
Okay, cool.
Kind of whisper to Jack. Jack, what happened? What are you
You'll
guys
understand
doing?
soon. I'm going to approach the young man who was taking a picture.
Sure.
That's a nice camera. What kind is that? I use a Kodak folding number 1.
He turns his head. Excuse-moi? Oh yeah, it's the camera. He gestures to it.
Kodak I use.
Oh, he points. He turns and points out the door. Yes, Kodak.
Yeah, that's what I use. Can I look at it?
Oh no, of course not.
Yeah, no, just I want to look at it.
He takes a step back from you.
No, don't worry. I'm not going to do anything. I just want to look at your camera because I take pictures.
He looks around
I'm pantomiming.
he kind of takes hold of the camera and looks a little strange. A staff member comes over. Is there a problem, sir?
I'm a photographer too, and I was just interested in his camera because
He turns to the younger man and starts speaking rapidly in French to him. He says something back to the staff member, and the staff member says, "He's a member of the press. He's out taking stories."
I just want to see I just want to see his camera because I'm always looking for different cameras and
He gestures and says something back to the gentleman. The gentleman seems to acknowledge something, and then he turns and shows it to you, the kind of camera he has.
Yeah, I'm not taking it out of his hands.
Mm-hmm.
I just I'm looking at different things and pointing, and then I tear the film canister out.
Sure.
Oh, sorry.
That's how it goes in.
Ouch. Bye.
Okay. Yeah, he obviously gets really upset. and he starts raving.
I gotta go.
You head back upstairs. The two of you get situated in the rooms upstairs. She is cut probably 4 or 5 times. And it's like abdomen and it's bicep, and the cuts are not deep. But the meddlesome part about them is that they just, each one of them needs its own specific wrap and bandage for her not to just continue to bleed. And you don't know what other fluid she has on her.
Yeah.
But it smells kind of like alcohol. Like she smells like that or a medicine cabinet. Like she's been into something. You're not sure what.
Well, I give her one of Jack's jackets so that she's covered up. I help her wipe down, and I'm very quiet and very calm and very gentle while I'm wrapping and cleaning the cuts.
Yeah.
And I don't ask her any questions. I let her cope.
It's good because she likely could not answer many right now. She's a little drugged. So you get her mostly bandaged. Some of the stuff is going to have to be cleaned off. Miss Lane definitely needs a bath. Jack, you come back with the assurances that the photo is not going to be published, obviously.
I didn't break his camera. I just
his camera's
ruined
fine.
that picture. What the hell happened?
Once she's passed out, leaning, or I'm just in a chair. I don't know, Jack. I have no idea. I come down to this. Something big. We should check her room. Well, I mean, we're in her room currently, I would assume.
Was there anything weird that she was wearing other than not clothes?
No.
Other than nothing.
No,
She had her underwear.
She had her undergarments on. She was not in the nude. You're not sure. There isn't anything that, other than her night garments that she was wearing. There's nothing. There's nothing else.
Right. Well, I'll go
What is
search her
she
room.
not wearing?
A dress.
Yeah.
More than that. I have seen her wearing something recently.
Yeah, you
something
saw
around her neck.
You saw something around her neck. It's not there anymore, though.
It's not there now.
Why don't you stay with her? I'll go check her room.
Okay. You go in and check out the
Mhm.
ladies' room. Everything in here seems pretty well normal. Things are put away. There's no sign of any sort of disturbance in here.
You're
Is
lucky.
her is Maeve's chest open?
Nope. Shut.
All right. Nothing. I don't see anything weird.
No. Well, Miss Lane's beautification bottles seem to be out. Looks like there's 1 or 2 that have been fairly well emptied. That maybe could be the source of whatever's on her.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, the smell is somewhat similar. She may have gotten into it. You don't know why, but...
Dress is laying on the ground, I guess.
Oh, no. The dress is on the floor in the bar area.
Oh.
She seemed to have taken it off while she was on the bar.
Oh.
As one does.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
if you're gonna strip, do it on the bar.
right?
Right.
I'm just starting a trend.
Right.
Of that, there's no doubt. So if the two of you kind of mother her a bit over the next few hours, or at least she eventually does come back too. So you're fairly groggy at this point. And this is really when, like, the outside pain receptors start to kind of kick in. And you realize that you have areas of your body that are, like, covered in bandages. And then, wait, why am I not wearing clothes?
I wake up and the fluid that I had on me, is there a certain smell to it?
Yeah, it's a perfume.
Is it? That's what
Like, you feel like you bathed in your perfume.
I feel like an overwhelming, like, and then my body just, and Dr. Jack,
Mm-hmm. How are you feeling?
I just hurt.
Welcome back, Lillian.
What happened?
That is a very good question, Liebchen.
Why
What
do
did
I
happen?
why do I smell like a brothel?
Well, we are in Paris, but I do not think that's a reason.
That smell was familiar. I was wondering what it was.
Where are my clothes? What?
In the bar downstairs.
Some of them are
What?
in the bar, most of them are in that chest over there, but I do know that none of them are on you currently. I have her wrapped in a blanket.
Yeah, you're covered up. So you're not, in a bad
I
way.
mean, at least I'm not naked. I mean, so the last thing I remember is putting, and I kind of get this look on my face, this sheepish look that, this necklace that I grabbed from Gavigan in Maeve's chest.
Okay. What does it look like?
It's kind of. It's not something you want to wear like I did.
That is not what I am doing to if you're going to do with it.
It's an upside down ankh, and it looks like it has a living eye in the middle of the necklace. It's very intricate.
Why would you wear something like that?
I was in a bad place.
The doc
Lawrence had died.
literally sits down, takes his glasses off, and begins to rub the bridge of his nose.
But it wasn't.
I'll go.
You get back, Mr. Shea.
It wasn't wearing it. It wasn't wearing it. I put it in Maeve's chest so we could talk about it later, and I could, because I had some errands to run, and I swear the eye looked at me.
And it probably did.
Are they in our room?
Yeah, so like when you come back into the
Like with
hotel
my bags
lobby
and stuff?
Yeah, you're like, you've been shopping, it's been a good day, and you walk in and it looks like a bomb went off in the bar. And you see the dress that you saw Lillian lay out last night for this morning. It's literally crumpled on the floor of the bar over there.
I'm gonna walk over and pick it up.
Okay.
And then
Head up to the rooms.
yeah, I'm looking around what the hell? And then go.
Yeah, you get to the rooms. You come into your room with both the doctor and Jack seemingly just beside themselves. And then Miss Lane is in her bed, covered in a blanket, and you have no idea what's going on here. The room smells funny too. It smells like perfume.
I'm gonna put the dress
lotion.
down. So how's the laying low going?
Oh, Miss O'Shea, you've returned. Wunderbar. Did you kill anyone while you were out, or perhaps light any fires or anything?
I
No?
hold up shopping bags. I went shopping?
Okay, I'm just checking, because so far that would be par for the course for our visit to Europe.
It's not my fault.
No. It's nobody's fault. Lillian had a bit of an episode.
Except for when it's mine.
No, it's not your fault.
No one is beyond reproach. It is all of our fault. And in fact, we probably should have been keeping a closer eye on Lillian. Now, I don't know who would have said that or, advised that, but whatever. The doc gets up grumbling to himself and goes to his room.
I don't need a babysitter until
Apparently
I do.
not. No, why would you need a babysitter?
Maeve, it's okay. I left you a present in your chest. Be very careful. Wait,
so
don't look it in the eye.
That's what caused downstairs?
I was trying out a new profession. I heard it's popular in Paris.
Where did it come from?
Well...
Gavigan.
What? Shh, don't tell her that.
Why didn't we light it on fire?
Because...
Only one of us knew about it.
Because I wanted to touch it? I was waiting for the right time to give it to you, but there was just so many things that happened, and Lawrence passed away.
I would not want anything from that man.
But yes, it's a necklace, and it looked at me.
I am writing what she said in my journal so that it is fresh in my mind.
It's not hard.
But I'm gonna take a nap.
Yes, but you might want to take a bath too.
So what I want to do is open the chest without looking in it.
Okay.
Put my hand in, feeling for a necklace.
Yeah, there it is.
Shove it under some other clothes so
Okay.
that I can safely get into my chest later.
Make me a power roll. Hard power roll.
Okay. All your fault. Okay. That is... That's a 50 out of 65.
Okay. When you grab hold of the necklace, you gain 5 points of magic.
Oh.
When you take hold of it, you feel like an absolute welling inside of you. Somebody turned your energy level up to 150%.
That's interesting, but no. I have something I have to take care of first, and maybe I'll look at it when I can go crazy on the train. Derail us or something.
So she's going to take a nap. Both of your heads are probably pounding from last night.
It kind of sobered me up a little bit.
It did. It's not a comfortable sober, but it's a sober. Luckily, the Balmore Hotel has a fine bar you could go back to.
Oh, yeah. Well, hair of the dog.
What are you doing this evening?
I'm probably just going to have dinner and then head out to the other hotel.
Okay. So you take a trip down the street. It's actually about it's probably 4 to 5 Paris blocks from where you guys are staying right now.
Well, if I need to, I'll call a car.
You don't need to, not unless you want to, but it isn't too far from where you're currently staying.
Okay.
You end up at a hotel. It's the Bristol Hotel.
Okay.
You use the information that she'd given you to get directed to her room.
I will go and knock on her door.
Okay. There is a knock at the door. One of your servants asks if he should go and answer it.
No, I'll get it myself. And I will walk and open the door.
On the other side of it, you see one Meave O'Shea.
Come on in, Miss O'Shea.
I will enter. Thank you.
One thing you probably notice, Miss O'Shea, is that this room is far warmer than you'd expected it. Both of the fireplaces in this common area are on, and like all of the windows are sealed up. It feels like stepping into sauna is not the right term because it's not nearly that humid.
Mm-hmm.
But the temperature is probably in the mid 70s in here.
So I'm probably finally comfortable.
Yep.
Nice.
I imagine it's not too warm in here for you.
No, it's actually really nice.
Well, those of us who are blessed need a warmer environment.
I've noticed that.
If you would come join me at the table for a cup of tea before we get started.
Oh, sure.
And I'll go and sit down and have one of my servants pour us some oolong.
Okay.
How much do you know about the Swift family, Miss O'Shea?
I just know about Jonathan and his business and what he sort of was up to. It wasn't good, which is why we stumbled across it in the first place. That was pretty much it.
It was messy. And that sums up Jonathan in a word. He wasn't really a nice man, as I'm sure you and I both know.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
He had the ire of our entire family, but especially our father. He had failure meeting expectations. It's unfortunate for everyone involved.
So is this a family thing?
To an extent, we do have a brood.
Okay.
And the unfortunate situations that arrived with the Holden family that made you aware of everything that he was doing drew a lot of attention that we had to correct with the help of you and your companions as a bonus.
Yeah, that was not a good situation.
No, it was not, which is one of the reasons that I believe you have been blessed and have had attention called upon you to be a more diligent student.
Well, it's good to know that cruelty is not required.
It's not required. It sometimes is an unfortunate outcome.
Yeah, I can understand that.
The nice thing about being part of the Blessed is that it grants you access to knowledge that is old and knowledge that is powerful beyond normal human belief.
Just because I have some experience with magical orders, how do you contact or find other believers around you?
We're sent by Yig. Almost always we'll receive directions from him directly.
Interesting. Okay.
And that's one of the reasons that it's so important that you learn Aklo, because if he speaks to you, you need to be able to understand his wishes with crystal clarity.
That is understandable.
And you definitely caught his attention with being able to summon without a more learned knowledge.
I find that I have a fairly strong will.
Which is good. The strong-willed, having an iron mind, being able to withstand unsettling things are all very necessary in order to withstand the power that comes with everything that you're experiencing now.
Well, considering the people I am surrounded by, I think I'm the one that's been handling it the best.
Well, the people that you're surrounded by haven't been blessed by Yig either.
That's true, but I don't think that they really want to. I've already been chastised for summoning, basically. But they'll probably have to just deal with it. If we need help, we need help.
I will finish my cup of tea and pull out just a small piece of paper and guide it over to Meave and show her that these are some of the more basic but intricate words of Aklo for a summoning.
Yeah, these are words. There's a couple here. You think that there are, say, 8 total words or images that she's showing you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a couple of them you've seen, but the vast majority of them you've never seen before. And just using your mind tries to kind of wrap around how they would be pronounced, and you're not really certain. You'll need some sort of guidance in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of them, though, you can definitely... they come from Swift's book, copies of them anyway, so you know what these 2 are.
Okay. Well, I'm familiar with these words, but I'll need help with some of the other ones.
All right. And I will read them off for her.
Okay, so here's what I'd like you to do, Allie. I would like you to make me an intelligence roll, and you are at advantage. And this is a hard difficulty.
Keeper, can I use my Hand of Fate to re-roll?
Can I hand a fate myself?
You absolutely can. One of our benefits of being illuminated is in-game Hand of Fate.
That roll is much better. It's actually an exceptional success.
Excellent. All right, so now, Miss O'Shea, I'd like you to make an intelligence roll. You get an advantage die because you learn languages faster than other people.
Okay, so how does the advantage work again?
It gives you another tens die, and you take the lowest of the 2.
Oh,
So
that's right. Okay.
either re-roll that one or...
Okay. So it's a 52 out of 90.
Okay, you would either have to spend luck or push for the hard. You need to be at 45.
At 45. I will spend the luck.
Okay, very good. The 2 of you spend the rest of the night in a strange series of choruses. It's less of a spoken language as much as it seems to be more of a singing language. The intonations fill the apartment, this hotel room, with a strange series of tones. Sometimes they rattle the glass in the windows, and other times the syllables creep along the skin on your body to the point where you shiver. But the one thing that you get that is certain by the end of your first night is that as much as you are an exceptional student of languages, you now have an exceptional teacher. And that is where I'll call the episode to close. So thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Masks of Nyarlathotep. We will see you next week.